Welcome back to our video series on making the lower nose bowl for Earl's Buttercup. This is part one of our next series, prepping the mold and getting the mold ready to make the part. Well, there's a series of steps that you have to go through to get the mold ready, and obviously the first step is to clean the mold. Once you've got the mold clean, the second step is to sand and polish the mold. So the next step will be to sand the mold with increasingly finer grit sandpaper, starting with maybe 320 grit up to about 1500 or 2000 grit to prep it for polish.
Hey, welcome back, welcome back. So it's Wednesday, I believe. If you watched parts 1 through 4 of the videos making the molds for the nose bowl molds for Earl's Buttercup, then what you saw was the process of making this mold here, from taking the plug, once we had the wax and the PVA on it, to applying the gel coat. I apologize for the heater, trying to get a little bit of work done here Wednesday evening. So we applied the gel coat, this first, second coats. We applied the cloth fabric reinforcement, 4 ounce, 6 ounce, 10 ounce, 2 layers of mat, and then a cap of 10 ounce. And then that was, I believe, part 3. Part 4, you watch me fight ferociously to get this thing off of the plug, and the results. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a series of videos laying up the part in this mold, and so hopefully it's exciting to you, and we'll conclude that series of videos with us taking that part out of the mold, and then you'll get to see the finished product. And then we'll make a series of videos of us finishing off that nose bowl and the cowling in general. I might even have videos down the road here. We'll see how we can get some stuff done here in the next 3-4 weeks. Might be able to get the painting process on video. Some people have some painting skills, some people don't. Some people say I can't paint to save my life. I disagree. I can paint a little bit. So. But we'll do that, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Okay, so if you saw part 4 of the making of the mold for the nose bowl for Earl's Buttercup, you saw the finished result at the end of that video, where I had some small issues with the gel coat. And so looking inside the mold, this is just some dirt and stuff, that's some dust. So there's a repair area that I've now repaired with some thickened gel coat. I put some adhesive filler in with the gel coat, and was able to build those small areas back up and fix them. And then last night, after I sanded that down, I had a few small imperfections, and I didn't like really the finished look, so I've got a little tiny bit of just a single pass, a very thin pass of regular straight up gel coat with styrene wax in it on these 3 areas. And I'm just going to sand those areas down. I'm going to scuff the rest of the mold with 2000 grit, and I'm going to run my buffing wheel on it and polish it up, and then it'll be ready to make a part. I've cleaned up the sharp edges here. I haven't really cleaned up all the edges all the way around. There's a little bit of an undercut, a little bit of a bump here and lip here, and up in this area in here. And I will do that before we make a part. But for now, we're going to focus on getting these spots of gel coat fixed. Stay tuned. You can see now that these are feathered back. It's nice and smooth transition. No sharp bumps or anything in between the gray gel coat and the white gel coat. The only difference in the 2 colors is pigment. Just so I could see where my repair was, I didn't colorize or pigment the repair. we're going to skip 1200 and go right to 1500. But before I do that, I'm going to take this paper towel and get it damp. I'm going to wash out this mold, because anything now that's in the mold for foreign material debris will scratch the surface, and I don't want to scratch the surface. I mean, I do want to scratch the surface with 1500 grit, not something like fiberglass or something like that, or gel coat residue or remnants. But I want this to be clean, dust free. Clean and dust free is what I want. If you hear something that sounds like grit, like anything like that, while you're sanding with 1500 or 2000, you don't want that. You want to stop immediately, wash the area off, and then come back with, you know, clean water and clean paper and move on. So I'm not gonna do a lot of grinding on it. Just really just gonna cover this the big flat parts mostly. I'm not going to try and get into the tight corners, because the tight corners will not be able to be polished with, you know, with a rotary tool like an Ingersoll Rand handheld or something like that.
The third step is really a small but important detail. You got to sand down all the edges of the mold, make sure that there's no sharp edges or overhangs, things like that, that are going to make it even more difficult to get your part back out of the mold. Once you've got the edges sanded down and you've got the surface of the mold sanded with 1500 or 2000 grit and cleaned, the next step really is to polish that mold to get that shine back so that it's a nice, smooth, shiny surface that you can use easily for making the part.
Straight up 3M rubbing compound. Just put a little bit in here. Gotta get the water out of the pad first. Do that with my thumbnail. Let your fingernails look like you went to the nail salon and got them buffed. Okay. A little bit of water coming out of that still, but not bad. Safety glasses. Rubbing compound in the face is not good. This will get all over everything. It will get on you. It will get on everything you're wearing. Warning.
Here I'm buffing with an air-powered Ingersoll Rand 2-inch buffer. The speed's set to the lower of the two settings, and the air pressure is about 90 psi. I do the surface 2 times with the compound to get the full shine back and remove as many of the sand scratches as possible.
Pretty shiny, pretty nice. Here we go. This mold's ready to make a part, and I'm excited. Today's Wednesday. That'll be Friday night. I'll prep this, and Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon I'll get a coat of gel coat in here. Stay tuned for those videos over this weekend. We're going to make a part. Earl's going to be back with me, hopefully on Sunday, to help me make this part in here. It's his nose bowl. He should get to make the parts. He made the upper part, most of it, almost all by himself. I just cut material and he worked it into the mold after I prepped it.
After the mold is polished to a nice shine, you have to put a release agent on that mold so that the part can pop back out. So we accomplish that first by putting a couple of coats, maybe up to 5 coats, depending on how good the mold release needs to be, with a mold release wax.
Okay, mold is polished. It's ready to be waxed and PVA'd. So that's the plan now. Gonna wax this with at least 2 coats of wax, and then gonna hit it with some PVA, and it'll be ready to lay up. Everything's done. Everything looks good. Repair areas are in order, and we'll see what we get. Stay tuned. This is Pardol paste number 2. This is a wax-based compound with no silicone. It's used for mold surfaces prior to application of PVA or something similar. It's primarily petroleum distillate, paraffin wax, etc., etc. As you can tell by the can being a little rusty, I've had it for a long time. Still works well, very well. Sorry for the noise on the heater again. So again, I'm just gonna apply it as fast and liberally as possible. Just put a coating on it. I'm not gonna let it dry all that terribly long. I think the words they use is some Turkish toweling. I'm not sure what Turkish toweling is. Maybe it's that thing that kids do in the locker room when they snap each other with a towel. I don't know. But the whole point is that we're going to get a couple of good coats of wax on here. So we'll apply the wax over all the surfaces, and then immediately start buffing that wax off. The reason we do it twice isn't just because we do it nice. The reason we do it twice is to ensure that the wax is covering all of the areas that it needs to cover. So
So that's really only one time around the mold with the wax. I did that actually 2 more times. I didn't include it in this video just to make the video short enough to keep your attention, but it's best to get at least 2 coats on there.
The next step in the process is once you've had the wax applied to the mold and buffed back to a nice shine, you have to apply PVA or polyvinyl alcohol as the final release agent, that thin film barrier to really seal up the mold and make it so the part can come out easy.
Okay, if you've gotten this far, you've seen the sanding and the polishing, the application of the wax, and now the PVA. The last step will be to lay up the part, so stay tuned for part 2, laying up the part, making the part in this mold. Earl will be with me, and we will make the lower nose bowl in this mold. Again, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. looseair.com, Facebook.com/Whitman Buttercup. Buy plans from Earl. Give us your feedback and your comments. Send us pictures of your projects. Thanks for watching.